Back in the saddle again.
Hey, we're back. I know we haven't recorded in a long time. Oh, we got to roll your sleeve up.
Yeah.
Hey, we are back, and this week we're going to finally get to our Q&A and answer all of you guys' questions. Well, as many as possible. Let's do it. Before we get to the Q&As, we have a shout out this week.
Our shout out goes to
D3Ts.
We're wearing them right now.
Guys, these are unbelievable tees. We had the chance to meet Max and Jenny just recently, last week actually.
Yep.
And they are such cool people, and we're so excited to get to know them a little bit better throughout our visits in the park.
Yes.
So
we're wearing their t-shirts that are super comfy and cute.
Jenny makes these by hand, these pockets by hand, and they're really super quality.
They are. She says them all.
They're literally like, these could be sold in PacSun or any store.
I agree. Yeah.
They're really nice. So go check them out. It's D3Ts, D, the number 3, T's on Instagram.
Yep.
They're also on Twitter. Instagram's their main account though. Go check them out.
And we don't have a cocktail this week either because once again we're being lazy. But we have a new one coming to the vlog.
We do have a new one.
It's coming and it's got some pop to it.
It does. We'll just say there are Pop Rocks involved.
Pop Rocks. So
we'll
anytime there's Pop Rocks in a drink, you know it's a good time.
Yeah. So be looking for that probably this week sometime.
Yes, probably.
Probably.
We
are finally getting settled in after a move that I think took a lot more out of us than we originally expected.
Yeah. It was a big move. Yeah.
So it's been almost a month now that we've been Floridians.
It has been a month.
Yes, it has been a month. Since we moved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of finally starting to feel like home.
Yeah.
Things are getting put in their place, and we still don't have a kitchen table, and the room behind us is completely empty, but we're getting there.
Working on it. We're working on it. Yeah.
But we did want to get to the Q&As because people have been asking about that. So we're going to get to that. But before we get to that, the reason it's taken us so long to kind of get back in the groove of vlogging and things like that is because we decided as a family, when we moved here, that we wanted to experience the Disney parks as locals, like with the kids and as a family, before we got into vlogging and carrying camera equipment around the parks and all that.
Yeah.
We just wanted the kids to like feel the magic of Disney without having to be
as a family and enjoy
a YouTube family or Instagram family. So we did that, and it was a blast. And we took them to every park. We visited Disney Springs.
Yep. And all the days they were crying like, why can't we ride that ride? We keep saying, we get to come back. We'll come back and ride it. It's gonna be fine.
It's amazing to walk through the parks and not be rushed and have very little agendas. It really is amazing. So now that we've got to experience that with the kids, we feel like, okay, now that they've gotten to do a lot of the things and they feel comfortable with the parks, now we can get back to the kids' channel, which they're really excited about, and of course our channel. Okay, without further ado, we present to you the Q&A. Here we go.
Q&A.
So we've got a lot of questions about just moving in general. Why did you move, and all these different questions. So we're going to answer a lot of those, and there are some park questions mixed in.
Yeah.
So first question comes from about 16 people. I'm just going to read their names. Mariana, Cassidy, Kelly, Rachel, Allison, Marissa, Katie, Shannon, Eliza, Carly, Kimmy, and Sarah asked, why are you guys moving? So
it's kind of a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. We moved because
we have two answers to that question. To our non-Disney people and to our Disney people.
Yes. To the Disney people, it's pretty apparent why we moved. We wanted to be closer to the magic.
Yes. That's why.
That's why. To the non-Disney people
that look at us like we cry because we moving to be by Disney.
Because of Disney. Yes, we moved because we love being close to Disney, but we also moved because we know, Charity and I have realized just in the, 10 plus years we've been married that life is too short to not follow your dreams and your passions wherever they take you. And our kids are still young enough that we can do that. They're not established in schools yet. They're very young.
We're kind of right at that junction because Karis is 10, so she has one more year of elementary school.
Yeah.
And so
Christian wasn't even in school yet.
Yeah, but for her to move after, once we hit middle school, that would be a tough time to, like, that's just not.
Yeah, not a good transition time.
Yeah. So we just realized, like, oh, if we're gonna move, we probably should do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and instead of moving somewhere that was just gonna be another move for us, we wanted to be somewhere that we wanted to be.
Right.
And Charity, growing up in California, has always wanted to move to California.
That was my vote.
Yeah, that was her vote. And then I've always wanted to just live on the coast. I didn't care if it was North Carolina, Florida, California. I didn't care. I just wanted to be near the coast. So because of the location of Disney World and being within an hour of the beach on pretty much either side, we kind of chose Orlando because of the magic of Disney being so close to that and the coast.
Yeah.
Charity compromised and said, okay, I'll forego California. We'll do
Fine.
Orlando. And that's how we ended up here.
Yeah.
And I believe one of the other questions, which I'll answer now, was what allowed you to move? Let's see, that was Marissa and Disney Life. And then Isis also asked that. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Yeah.
Isis. They asked basically, what is your profession or what do you do for a living down in Orlando? Well, I own a creative agency and we do a lot of advertising, marketing, and design work for clients all over the country. So because of that, it allowed me to be in a place where I didn't necessarily have to be in one place. Because our clients are not in one city, they're all over the country. It allowed me to kind of be free. So we took that opportunity to say, hey, you know, if I'm going to be mobile, I can be mobile. So I can have meetings.
2016.
Most of my meetings are over the phone or over Skype or Google Hangouts anyway, because a lot of our clients aren't local, so it allowed me to do that. So yeah.
So that worked out well.
That worked out really well.
And me, I'm a mom, mainly is my profession right now, and so I'm pretty flexible. I can kind of do that profession just pretty much anywhere. So it was real easy for me to move to.
Yeah. It was very easy for her. So yeah.
My clientele came with me.
Yeah.
I brought
They're
them
here,
along.
our cartel. So yeah, that's why we moved and what we're doing here.
Yeah. Okay, so on Instagram, I have a question from Galactic Garden Arts. Says, how often do you think you'll go to the parks now that you're living there? All the time.
All the time.
Or day. No.
No,
Probably
not
not every
quite.
day.
It's
would
felt
be nice
like that
if
since we
yeah.
first started.
Well, the thing is it took us, a couple of weeks to get our passes, and then so now we're just kind of on this short window before school starts.
Yeah.
So we're like, we got to hit it hard before
the
school
kids go back
starts,
to
because once they
school.
go back to school, it will be less that we will be able to go.
We are excited about the kids going back to school because we get to go to the parks with no kids
We
in
can
the
have
mornings.
some little day dates.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
So we're gonna go as much as possible, especially during the summer, and then once school starts, that's gonna be to be determined. We're not sure, but we're still gonna go as much as we possibly can. Gotta get our money's worth.
Oh yeah.
Dang, we had to sell a child to get those passes.
She's lying. We didn't sell a child. We bought 4 passes. Yeah, 6 annual passes is not cheap.
It's a commitment.
It is.
It's a life commitment.
But you do need to be committed to going to the parks if you're going to buy an annual pass, obviously,
Yeah.
especially for 6 people.
Yeah.
This is a great question. Are you guys ever not smiling or happy? And a follow-up, are you always smiling due to the heroic intake of cocktails? Who is this? I love this person. This is Christopher Scott. Good question, Christopher. Are we always happy?
No.
We have 4 kids. As much as we love them, it's pretty stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
My favorite thing to say when we're videoing, like when we're out videoing, I'll be like, I just got that on camera.
Yeah,
like,
we will threaten and be like, that's going to go on YouTube.
Because we'll be so like mean.
And I'll straighten up real quick.
They'll be mean and like hitting each other.
Yeah.
We'll be mean hitting each other.
The vlog life.
Not really. We don't really hit each other. Just kidding.
No. You're on a roll today with like calling our family out. What else do we do to our kids? We put them in the trunk on the way home from Disney because they're screaming. We don't do any of this. Please don't turn us over to the Child Protection Agency. Is our happiness due to the heroic intake of Disney cocktails?
Absolutely.
Yes. We love cocktails. Matter of fact, we had a little party at the house last week for a bunch of Disney friends for something really exciting that's coming up that we'll tell you guys about soon.
Yes.
And we fixed a bunch of different Disney cocktails and had a tasting party, and it was a blast.
That was fun. That was fun.
So we got to be doing more of that.
What is your favorite smell at Disney? Oh, wait, let me see. This is Haley Cubbage.
Okay, I think you have a new one.
I have a new one. I know
Yeah.
yours. We
Ooh,
all
you
know
know
yours.
mine.
You want me to go ahead and answer it?
Yeah, I'll let you answer first.
The Water and Pirates.
Oh, you're going to answer for me?
Oh, I said, you want me to answer?
She said, you want me to go first, and then she gives my...
I said, you want me to
gives
answer
my
yours?
answer. She said, you want me to go, and then she give my answer. Are you serious right now?
Stealing your thunder.
Well, you guys know what mine is. The musty water of Pirates of the Caribbean. We're always happy.
Go ahead, answer mine then. Go ahead, answer mine now.
Charity has a new favorite.
I do.
We talked about meeting Max and Jenny from D3Ts. We met them and a bunch of other cool Disney people at Meisner's Lounge at Grand Floridian. When you walk into the Grand Floridian, it smells like
You will die.
fresh lavender.
Lavender. I'm just like, what is this
It
smell?
smells
It's
so
so
good.
so amazing. Like I just want to just lay there on the
I
floor.
think we did. We paused when we walked in.
Oh,
and
it's
took
just
it
so. It smells so beautiful. I just.
in. A close
I can't
second
even-
for me would be walking down Main Street and smelling the smells that they pump onto Main Street, the bakery and the confectionery, and like it smells like funnel cake.
Yeah, all
It's
the time.
amazing.
So that does smell good. But that, it was just cool and crisp in the Grand Floridian, and it just smelled like
Just the bright
lavender,
colors
and I
and-
just was just like,
It smelled
I just
amazing.
died and went to the Grand Floridian.
They've got really good cocktails at Meisner's Lounge too. Just throwing that out there.
Would you ever want to visit Disneyland Paris? Who do you think is the best Disney princess and why? This is Beth and Shoot. Do we ever want to visit Disneyland Paris? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. In fact, one of our family goals is to visit as many, if not all, that might be impossible in our lifetime, all of the Disney destinations
There's
in the world.
300 plus in the
Yeah.
world. If you include Adventures by Disney, all the cruises, like
And then
there's
all
300
the
plus.
parks, you know, like
Yeah.
all the Disneylands around the world and stuff. There's like 300. I mean, they go up to like Alaska and the Mediterranean, and there's like river cruises in Europe and stuff like that. So there's
that
so
is-
many different places.
That is an absolute goal of ours as a family to visit every Disney park, every Disney destination, starting with the parks.
Starting with the parks. So Disneyland in California is
Will be our
going to be
next
our
one.
next one that we're going to.
So-
But eventually we will be heading to Paris.
Yes.
For sure. And the best Disney princess. That's a tough
tough
one. Because I just love them all. Like
Yeah.
they all have this unique.
I feel like it accompanies your favorite movie for me, which is also a question. My favorite Disney movie is Beauty and the Beast. Close second would be Aladdin,
Yeah.
but my favorite Disney princess is probably Belle, just because like that's my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah.
Cinderella would be a close second to me, just because she's the classic
Well,
Disney
I was gonna say though,
princess.
like, I got the most emotional meeting Cinderella. I did, like, I teared up because like they mastered the art of walking in. When you walk in, I just remember just walking around the corner into the little throne room, and I just got so emotional because it felt so real, and she seemed so real. So
Because she is real.
she is real, yes. But that was the most emotional I got. So I would say Cinderella, meeting her, and then Jasmine.
Yeah.
I really
Jasmine's
loved
cool.
meeting Jasmine.
She's super cute, hot, cute, pretty. She's very intelligent. Next question comes from Mingling with Megan on YouTube, who's also mingling with Mickey
on Instagram.
on Instagram. I love this question. So, what's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten when it comes to chasing your dreams?
Ooh.
So, we were actually just on a podcast called Talk About the Magic, where we actually talked about this. You should go check that out. Talk About the Magic.
Yep, we'll put that in the show notes.
And we talked about chasing our dreams, why, what you can do to do this, so check that out. But the best piece of advice I got was do what you can with what you have where you are right now. And that has literally...
Tongue twister.
Yeah, do what you can with what you have where you are right now. Got it?
That's a t-shirt.
This has literally been like my life motto since I heard this, because people that want to like do big things or chase their dreams or move across the country or quit their job and do something, or quit their job and pursue their dream job or start their own business or whatever it is, there's always an excuse like, well, I don't have enough money, or I don't have the skills to do that, or I don't have the education to do that, whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is, you have something right now in your hands that you can start with. Like for me, starting a creative agency, I didn't have, from the outside perspective, the skills that it took to do that. But what I did have was a basic skill set and connections and relationships. So I took what I had and began to work on that, and eventually it turned into 18 employees and 2 great partners and a really thriving business. So you got to figure out whatever you want to do, and then what you can do to take a step towards that with what you have in your hands right now. And eventually what you're going to see is you're going to get closer and closer to having what you perceive as a need, if you work with what you have in your hands right now. So
yeah,
that would be my advice.
Yeah. So mine is we have a different personalities. So Matt, he tends to be this dreamer that like thinks big, and I don't know that Matt really even has any sense of like failure in his mind. Like I think you really truly have this natural belief that like anything I touch is gonna like be successful, and then even if it doesn't, like you just keep going forward. Like he has this natural gift of pursuing and getting past any like disappointments or whatever. Whereas
I just don't believe in failure.
You don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, I have a different perspective because I tend to be very much of a negative person, full of fear. Like I tend to have more of the fear.
She's definitely not as bad as she used to be.
Right. Like I'm on a huge journey. Like I will be the first to admit it. Like I have really come a long way. You've helped me a lot, and it's just I've come a long way. Counseling helped a lot. But anyway, so I'd like to come from more like that fear-based perspective that.
She doesn't like to come from that perspective.
I just understand it better. I understand. Yeah. So those of us in the world that kind of have more of that basis from, I guess my whole thing, that my advice is that I learned that I am not a victim. Yeah. I tended to always be like, well, I can't because of I had 4 kids, I can't go do that, or I can't, we don't have the money to do that, or I can't because, and there was always these external reasons as to why I couldn't do what I really wanted to do. And I think the biggest aha moment for me was that I am not a victim. If I want to do something, there's nothing or anyone or anything will not stop me. So it kind of piggybacks off what you were saying as far as like, you've got the power, you can do something with what you have right now. And so I think that's kind of been my biggest aha for me. And it's been a journey, it doesn't just snap and one day I'm just like, yes, I can do anything I want because I can do it. It's been a journey of slowly kind of reprocessing my mind.
You just start
the
to
way
realize
I think.
that you're capable of a lot more than you originally thought if you just remove the idea of failure.
Right.
So the second best piece of advice I got was on failure was typically success comes from good judgment. Good judgment comes from experience, but experience only comes from bad judgment. So when you look at bad judgment, people would say like failure would be bad judgment. Well, it's not. Bad judgment just leads to success, because if you flip that, bad judgment gives you the experience you need to make good decisions and good judgments, which leads to success. So
it's just this big circle.
Somewhere along the way, you're going to make bad decisions, you're going to make, the wrong move, but ultimately it's going to give you the experience you need to be successful. So
and we can be the first to
I've had plenty of bad judgments. But I've also gained so much experience from that. And when people ask like, how did you build this business so quickly and blah blah blah, they don't see the years of like ideas that have failed or things that never even got off the ground that I worked so hard on. Like, it's just part of the process. So yeah, just
And
don't believe in failure. Don't believe you can
don't
fail.
believe failure, and there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
I think another big trip up that people fall into is, well, I can't. That's already been done, or there's already too many people doing that. I mean, he started a creative agency.
There's literally thousands and thousands.
Right. Like I started a photography business. Like people get a camera and they're now a photographer. Like that's another very like saturated industry. But if you just be creative, be original, don't don't think that there's
not concerned with like everybody else doing what you do.
Right.
Like don't look at any sort of competition. Like another thing we learned is we don't believe in competition.
Right.
I do not believe in competition. If someone's doing the same thing I am, like they're not a competitor for me because we do things so differently.
Right. And that's one thing.
Even with her as a photographer, like her style of photography is going to be so much different than someone else's because ultimately when you're creating something, it's uniquely you and you are the only you. So like even if someone else is doing the same thing, even if they're copying what you're doing, they can't be you. So like don't worry about competition. Just do you. Do your thing.
Yep. There's a book I read called Steal Like an Artist. Perfect book because even in that book he said copy the people that you admire and that are doing what you want to do. He's like, and copy as many of them as you can because something about humans is we cannot do exact copies.
Yeah.
So even if I try to do exactly what you're doing, just how you're doing it, I'm going to change it just slightly because I'm a different person. And so that makes it not exactly the same.
Yeah, and in that process you kind of find your rhythm and who you are. So.
Yeah. So that was a lot of
So
best advice.
There's half our question and answer video right there. We'll do one more.
That's a long answer, so.
Yeah, we've had a couple long answers and we realized there's a lot of questions here. And instead of making this like a 2-hour video, we will definitely get to more of these questions in a future question and answer video.
Yeah, we can make another one. All right, let's see. So how close will you be to the parks? This is from Maria and Donovan Jones Adventures. Maria F. and Donovan.
We're north of Orlando.
Orlando, yeah.
They just built a new highway around the outer edge of Orlando. If we take that,
which is a toll road, so it costs us like.
We can get to Disney in under 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If we take I-4, which if you're local, you know, avoid I-4 at all costs because you never know what's going to be on there.
We learned that very quickly.
The hard way, yeah. It's about 35 minutes on I-4 for us. But you're always taking a chance on I-4 because we have been stuck in traffic probably at least 3 or 4 times.
How long were you guys that one day?
I was stuck in traffic for probably 3.5 hours on I-4. So it's just, you just never know.
Yeah.
So short answer, we're about 30 minutes away from Disney.
Yeah, give or take.
Long answer, depends on what highway you take and what time of day it is.
So we hope you enjoyed all of these questions.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed answering them.
This was so much fun, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to be back on track, moving in the right direction.
Yes, getting our rhythm back.
If you enjoyed this Q&A, make sure you leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you real soon.